Right now, most of you have a calendar open. You've got a pipeline. You've got a forecast. You've got a plan for the rest of the week and probably the rest of the month. None of you asked God about any of it. Not one of you. You planned your week like your own next Tuesday. And James wrote a verse about you. And he wrote it 2,000 years ago. So if you don't know, my name's Jonathan Roberts, leadership sales coach here, and let's get into this. So I'm about to read you the most uncomfortable verse in the Bible for a working man. Then I'm going to tell you what to do about it before you close your laptop today. Stay with me. This is 15 minutes, and I promise you it'll be worth it. So let's get into it. James chapter 4, verse 13. Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there, and trade and get grain. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? Is it a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes away? Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we shall live and do this or that. That's the verse. Read it one more time on your own later or in your own head. And then let me tell you who James is talking to. He's not talking to lazy men. He's not talking to men who don't plan. Read the words again. Today or tomorrow we will go. We will spend a year. We will trade. We will get grain. That's a business plan. That's a man with a strategy, a market, a timeline, a revenue target. What's up, Neil? Appreciate you, brother. That's a man with a strategy. James is talking to entrepreneurs here. He's talking to sales guys. He's talking to the men on this live right now. And here's what he says about you. You don't even know what tomorrow brings. Your life is a mist. You show up for a second and then you're gone. Let that word sit for a second. Mist. Not a river, not a mountain, not a tree, but a mist. You breathe on a cold morning and you see it for 1 second and it's gone. That's what James calls your entire life. And I need you to hear me. He's not being mean. He's being honest. You planned 12 months out. You're not guaranteed 12 freaking minutes. I'm going to say that again. You planned 12 months out, but you're not guaranteed 12 minutes. I know men who are on a Zoom call at 10 in the morning and were gone by dinner. I know families who were making Christmas plans in November and burying someone in December. None of them saw it coming. That is not a scary story. That's the world that we're actually living in. So hear me carefully, because men love to twist this verse like this. This is not a verse against planning. James is not telling you to stop forecasting. He's not telling you to close your calendar. He's not telling you to be lazy. I plan hard. I run a division. I have goals for the year. And I've got a monthly revenue target. That's not the problem. Here's the problem. You built a whole year on top of a God you never once consulted. You picked the city. You picked the timeline. You picked the number. And you did all of it like your own. You own the calendar. But you don't. Most men aren't atheists about God. They're atheists about their calendars. They believe in him on a Sunday, and they don't ask for him for a single thing on a Monday. That's the verse. That's what James is naming. Let me get specific, because I want this to land in your actual life. You have a Q4 number. When did you pray about it? Not did you post about it? Did you get on your knees and ask God whether that was the number he wanted for you and your family? You have a hire you're about to make. When did you take that name to God? You have a client you're chasing. When did you ask God whether that client was a blessing or a trap? Because I'll tell you what most of us do. We decide, and then we ask God to bless it. That's not a prayer. That is a permission slip. You already signed it. You're just handing it up for a rubber stamp. And I did that for years. And I'm not pointing to anyone here. I haven't, if you don't know, I haven't been. But I decided what I wanted my life to look like. And then I asked God to help me pull that off. And I could not figure out why I had no peace. Because I wasn't praying, I was negotiating. So what does James say to do instead? Look at the verse. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we shall live and do this or that. If the Lord wills. That's not a magic phrase you track at the end of a sentence. It's a posture. It's a man who plans hard, works hard, and chases hard, and holds all of it in an open hand. So let me tell you what it looks like in a real week. You still have to set numbers, but you take the number to God before you take it to your team. You still have to make the hire, but you sit with it in prayer before you sit with it in an interview. You still book the dang trip, but you say out loud, Lord, if you want me somewhere else, close the dang door. And then you mean it when you say it. Because here's what I've watched happen in my own life this past year. When I stopped presuming on tomorrow stopped feeling so heavy. When I actually asked him, he actually answered. Sometimes with a yes, sometimes with a no. Sometimes with a door I didn't even know frickin' existed. But never once with the silence that I used to just complain about. The silence was never him, it was me. I wasn't asking. I was just announcing it. So, one last thing, and then I'll let you go for your day. Tonight, 5:30 Arizona time, I run a Bible study on Zoom. Every Thursday. And it's 100% free. This is not a pitch. I'm not selling you anything on this call. We open the Bible, we talk about our real lives, and we go after this stuff exactly like we just did for the last 15 minutes. So you just watched me name a verse that if it hits you in the chest, don't just close this app and go pretend it didn't. You already planned your whole week without him. Spend 1 hour with him tonight. So the link's in my comment, in the bio. If you can't find it, shoot me a DM. I'll get it over to you. Join the WhatsApp group. Awesome freaking community. And then we'll go live every single Thursday, 5:30 Arizona time. So listen to me so we can end this off. Remember, a lot of us are currently in a state where we're amiss. But so is every deal on our board. And every worry keeping you up at night. And every enemy that you're afraid of. You're amiss. He is not. So go plan your day, but plan it with him in the room. And I've got a couple questions, so let me honor them. Yash Raj, hope you're still on, my man. Asks, hey, please help me come out of a bad habit and distraction. He's 18 years old. Dude, 18 years old, man, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot because you already have the self-realization that, hey, man, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but you're telling yourself I'm not going to sit there. So here's what I'll say to you, man. Make sure you dial into something. Make sure you become the absolute best at a skill that you could go out and give the world and serve the freaking kingdom. Because that's what this is about, man, is being 18, dude, you're so far ahead of where a lot of us were. Just being able to simply ask that question, being able to put that out there, is you're already ahead, and now you just got to take action. So, whatever your bad habit is, you're going to have to replace it with something else. Because bad habits just don't go away. They must be replaced. So, I appreciate you. That's the question I'll hit right now. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. Appreciate everybody being on here. Later.